If you've ever sat down to relax, but somehow felt even more restless or guilty, or like your brain just keeps going, you're not failing at rest. And the real reason you can't relax actually has very little to do with laziness, discipline, or not trying hard enough. As an occupational therapist, I want to explain what's really happening in your nervous system and why traditional self care advice often stops working when you're already feeling overwhelmed. Hi, I'm Fiona, an occupational therapist and creator of Mayari Mind. I create nervous system resets grounded in everyday life because regulation doesn't always happen during meditation. It happens while we move through our lives. And if relaxing feels strangely difficult lately, there's usually a reason. A lot of people think if I just meditate more, or if I take a bath, or if I put my phone away, then they'll finally feel calm. But many people are trying to relax while their nervous system still feels unsafe, overloaded, and overstimulated, or constantly on. And when your nervous system is in a state of protection, stillness can actually feel uncomfortable. That's why you might notice racing thoughts when things get quiet, guilt when resting, needing constant stimulation, scrolling without meaning to, or feeling exhausted but unable to settle. Your body may have learned that slowing down doesn't feel neutral, it feels unfamiliar. And this is where the nervous system, especially the vagus nerve, becomes important. Your vagus nerve helps regulate things like your stress response, breathing, heart rate, and your body's ability to shift into states of safety and restoration. But regulation doesn't only happen cognitively, it happens physically through breath, mindful movement, sensory experiences, rhythm, tuning into your body cues, touch. These are what we often call somatic practices, body based ways of helping our nervous system feel supported enough to soften. And importantly, they don't have to happen in perfect silence on a meditation cushion. They can happen while making coffee, walking, commuting home, washing your hands, transitioning between parts of your day. That's actually why I created my Reset series, to bring nervous system regulation into real life occupations and routines. In occupational therapy, we look at how people function within daily life, not just symptoms, but routines, environments, sensory input, transitions, habits, roles, expectations, and nervous system load. And modern life creates a huge amount of invisible load, constant notifications, background stress, emotional masking, decision fatigue, screens, noise, pressure to be always productive. Even rest has become performative. A lot of people are attempting self care without first helping their nervous system transition out of survival mode. And this is important. You cannot force regulation through pressure. You can't shame yourself into feeling safe. Sometimes what people actually need is not more optimization, but more moments of nervous system completion. Small moments where the body realizes, I'm allowed to soften right now. This is also why just do nothing advice often doesn't help burnt out people, because many nervous systems regulate better through gentle sensory input and supportive occupations, not sudden emptiness. Sometimes regulation looks like making tea slowly, walking, stretching, rhythmic movement, grounding through touch, or taking one conscious breath while commuting home. These tiny moments matter, not because they magically erase stress, but because they teach the nervous system we are no longer in constant emergency. And over time, these moments begin to accumulate. Relaxation is not a performance. It's not something you win after being productive enough. And regulation isn't about becoming perfectly calm all the time. It's about creating enough safety, rhythm, and support within your daily life that your body no longer has to stay constantly braced. That's why I focus so much on resets within everyday moments, not escaping life, but supporting your nervous system while living it. Because healing is often quieter than people expect. It can look like pausing before opening another tab, taking a slower sip of coffee, unclenching your jaw at a red light, or noticing your feet on the ground for 3 seconds. Small moments, repeated often. If this resonated with you, I've created a series of guided resets designed around real life moments, like your morning coffee, your commute, your workday, or winding down at night. They're short, body based nervous system practices you can return to throughout your day. You'll find them below through Mayari Mind. And if you'd like more nervous system resets, subscribe and stay a while. This is your reset. Carry it with you.